Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here because this episode is going to be, I am sure, this is going to be the finale of the Viking sword. But we have a predicament right now. As you will have seen at the end of the last episode, I made a terrible mistake on the bog oak handle. I don't have any more. We're 5mm short of the offcut. And so somehow I've got to find some bog oak to get here as soon as possible so that we can continue finishing off this Viking sword. So I'm gonna go try find some. What I need to do is I need to see if these people have bog oak. Ebony, mahogany, bog. No matches. Okay. I'm wondering if you have any bog oak in stock at the beginning of next year. Not good. Have a great one. Bye. No bog oak available in the country until next year. So that was apparently an unbelievably rare piece of wood. It takes them almost a year to dry the stuff, and only 3 trees come out of a bog each year. They come out in the fens, which is actually quite close to here, and so it's rare, and there is no stock. Maybe I can find some. An individual seller, somebody that I can prize it from their hands. I think we need to do a workshop-wide bog oak searching session. You on the case too, Alex? On it. Great. Bog oak searching time. Sidlor told me who he got his border bog oak from. Alex also, just at the same time, found that they had some on eBay. Ready to ship in 3 to 5 business days. That's not good. Okay, the order's placed. I want to get this here by tomorrow. I don't know if that's possible. I can see if I can email them. Right, so I've sent an email. Hopefully they can expedite the shipping. Told them I'm happy to pay extra to get this thing here tomorrow. It's a few days later. A package has arrived in the mail. Hopefully, yes, I think this is it. Yep, we have some more bog oak. Thank goodness for that. I think we're gonna go with this. The grain is nice and straight, so hopefully it's gonna be nice and strong. So what we now need to do is we need to cut this down, put it on the mill, and get this thing ready. Oh my goodness, this handle looks beautiful. This bog oak is meant to be from 3300 BC, and I get to hold it and work with it and put it on this beautiful sword. That is very exciting. So it's all polished up nicely, it's looking very good, but we had this issue with the last piece. This guard isn't sitting exactly perfectly square to the ends of our bog oak. That can be because the tang hole isn't just perfect. It can be because the seating of the guard isn't just perfect. Whatever it is, we need to make sure that it sits flat and flush. And so we're gonna do that. With some sandpaper on the granite block, we'll be pulling it back to make those faces line up perfectly parallel on both sides. I went too far. No! Oh, I put it on the wrong way. That was silly. Looks amazing now. Needs just a smidge more. Next step, I need to round off the very ends of the handle. See this radius we have here at the top of the guard? I think that it would be nice to have this radius here at the top of the guard and a similar radius at the end, either end of the handle, since we're so close to the edges of the guard. It'll help the look kind of really nicely flow from one piece to another. after rounding the ends of the handle, after touching up the gold, after making 3 pins to screw into my pommel, even though I needed 2 because I cut one too short, and after having degreased my parts, it is now time for the glue up. I'm gonna be using epoxy so that I make sure that the connection between the handle and the tang is as solid as possible, and all of the gaps from roughing out and coring out that hole are filled with something. It's gonna help make this a much stronger piece, help give much more life to the piece. Once the epoxy is in, we're then going to take our upper guard, hammer this over the handle on the tang. We're then going to have just enough tang left to be able to heat it with a torch. Pin the end of the tang to secure it all together and give this as strong of a mounting as possible. With the glue cured, we're then going to be able to pin over those phosphor bronze pins that I've threaded into the pommel. And the sword is going to be done after 2.5 months. It's glue up time. I hope this went well. I really hope this did not break. This is a hard thing to do to a piece. There could be cracks, there could be all sorts of things. It could not be sitting flush. We could have damaged the engraving. Let's pull this out and have a look. No! No! Oh no. Look at that. That's huge. That's a terrible problem, completely bad. In the heat of hammering it, I thought that we had pinned the tang down enough, kept it all tight. Instead, the force this way allowed the inertia of these pieces to back off, and so we now have a huge amount of gap. This is extraordinarily bad, and I can't trust the epoxy setting at this point. So what I'm gonna have to do is as follows. I have no idea how, but I need to get this guard off so I can pull all the pieces off, strip it from epoxy, and then re-glue up, re-pin the tang. Came loose. Oh no. The end of that wood looks really bad. It's swollen out a little bit. But I push this back down, which will hopefully allow us to now shape the end of the tang enough to get the guard back off. That comes off, and this comes off. Oh. 2.5 months, and it is done. I've put everything that I had into this sword. This is the greatest thing that I have ever made, the greatest teacher that I have ever had. It is not perfect, but it's every single bit I had in me over the last 2 months, and it is finished. Twisted Damascus steel, gold inlay, set garnets, 5,000-year-old bog oak on the handle. This is one special piece. Oh yes! And let me tell you, not only does it look cool, but it feels amazing. I can't tell you how pleased I am that I started on this project. I can't tell you how hugely I underestimated just how big this project was gonna be. I had no idea that I was gonna fall down such a deep rabbit hole with this project, but I am so thrilled that I did, because I have pushed the limits of what I know so far with this project. I've had to learn new things. It has been such a phenomenal educator, and I am so thrilled that it is done. And I can't thank you guys enough for sticking through and watching this 28-part series. Thank you so much for coming along. This sword is gonna get auctioned off. So this is gonna be one of my first ever art pieces, larger art pieces really, to get sold. And we're gonna be doing an auction. There is a link in the description down below. And so I am super, super excited to see how this goes and to have a winner, a winning bidder, get their hands on this sword and enjoy it for a very, very long time. Again, thank you all so much for watching this series, for subscribing, for letting me share with you the joy that I get in learning more about this craft. I am so excited that this is the project that ends my time in this workshop. Moving to Montana, we're gonna be doing some even better projects in the future there. And so I can't wait to bring you along for that. So many exciting things in the works. Can't wait to see you soon. Bye-bye.